Brad Peacock, student number 0256471. So for this video, we're going to be doing a little bit of a stretching routine, followed by a little bit of jogging in place, and a little bit of push-ups for muscle workout. This routine that I learned for stretching was through the military, through the Army, and it helped me out for whenever I was about to go on long runs, or if we were going to do something called muscle failure. So the first exercise that we learned was the bend and reach. I'm down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll stop right there. We have something called the forward lunge. Place your hands on your hips, just as it sounds. You do an actual lunge. We also have something similar to it called the rear lunge, which instead of going forward, you go back. Alright, so right now we're trying to get loose, we're trying to get ready for what would be a run. So any bone, any muscle in your body, you don't want it tensed up when you're going, otherwise you can get cramps. You can end up hurting yourself in the long run, something like shin splints. So we just want to make sure that we're completely stretched out and ready to go. We have one called the windmill. We spread across, touching the opposite side of your foot with the opposite side of your hand. We do something called where you actually bend over and you try to touch your toes, keeping your head above your heart. You want to hold it. Make sure that you feel the burn coming through here. After a certain amount of time, you're going to end up coming back up. Go ahead and do it again if you want, whatever makes you feel like you actually got something out of it. We also bring it to your left. Bring it to your right. We can go ahead and we can reach down to the middle. Pop back up. Go ahead, we can hold on. What you're doing is you're getting a nice long stretch. So again, whenever you go to run, you're not going to tense up, you're not going to feel it later. You're going to be nice and loose and ready for a run. Go ahead and switch to the other side. Alright. Go ahead and do some calf raises. Make sure that your arms are nice and stretched out. Doesn't really benefit you too much for your run, but if you're going to do muscle failure or anything along those natures, you're going to need to have your arms all nice and loose and ready to go as well. Alright. So, when you're fully stretched out and you think you're about ready for your run, or if you think you're about ready for your muscle failure, it's always good to get a little pre-workout going prior to you actually engaging in those exercises. For example, if you're going to go on a run, it's nice to just, pick up a little jog. You want to make sure that you can get your heart rate starting to race. The worst thing about running is going about halfway to where you need to be and then giving up because your body went into failure before you can even reach your max potential. I'm going to a little run. Pick it up just a little bit. Pick your legs up. Kick them out a little bit. Pick them up in the front. Start to bring it back down. What we're doing right now is we're trying to control our heart rate. So you don't want to just go ahead and stop out of nowhere as soon as you start picking it up. And then stop. Be sure that whenever you're done, before you get going, you want to drink some water. Not too much water because water also induces cramps. Make sure also that if you need to rest for any reason whatsoever, that you never put your head down like this. You never want to rest on your legs. Best idea for you is to either put your hands above your head or behind your head and walk around. You never want your head to go below your heart. Blood flows towards the center. With that being said, all your blood's going there, cause some serious issues. And again, that's a decent routine for if you want to go for a nice long run, or even if you just want to do some wind sprints or whatnot. But it's always good, again, to make sure that you're completely relaxed, you're flexed or you're stretched out, and you're ready to go before you go on anything. Now, if you want to do some muscle failure, it's also important that you get stretched out prior to. You'd hate to go ahead and hit the bench or whatever it is and tweak something in your arm, your bicep, hell, even your forearm. You never know. So I did show you an exercise earlier where we did the overhead arm pull just to get this stretched out a little bit. But there's other exercises, other stretching routines that you can do to try to get a little bit relaxed before you go ahead and you hit some weights. You can do some little circles, always helps. Do some big circles, helps out your rotator cuff. Makes it a little less strenuous whenever you decide you do want to lift. You want to do, say, chest, shoulders. This will help out a lot. You can go ahead and you can bring it back, forward, back, what you're doing is you're actually working out your back, pushing it out, making sure that it's nice and loose prior to you actually engaging in lifting weights. You go ahead and pick them up, down. In the military, we actually call this the military press. Believe it or not, it doesn't seem like too much. You do about 500 of them, and I'm sure your arms will be just as tired. The other one they like to do is called the forward clap. Bring it forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. I hope you get stretched out pretty much. And another thing that we love doing, and I'm sure you're waiting for it, was a push-up. Our push-up, they consider as an actual workout exercise, but we considered it as a warm-up to getting relaxed and getting ready to get going. As long as you break the plane at 90 degrees and push up, and you're not bouncing on the actual floor with your chest, your belly, or any other part of your body, then you're actually doing a correct push-up. You know, we normally do probably about 20 or 30 to get going. Take a break and then do another 20 or 30. But again, break 90 degrees, come up, down, up, down, and you go until you think that your arms are actually ready to go and that you're pretty relaxed and ready to work out. I showed you a few of the ones that I picked up along the way. I was completely oblivious whenever I first started. I mixed in the new PT schedule through the military with the old school style where you don't even, trying to get a nice big stretch in so that you can get ready for whatever you want to encounter and conquer. Again, there's no one right way. Everyone has their preferred method, but as long as you're getting out there, you're getting stretched out, and you're getting ready to go and give it your all, who's to say that anybody's wrong? My name is Brad Peacock, student number 02564731. Hope you learned something from this video.